Here's a thought for you. The next time you're clinking glasses at a holiday party or marveling at carolers in the mall, ask yourself, who's making all this joy happen? Yep, gig workers. While you're celebrating, we're out here hustling. Today, I want to dive into the realities of gig work during the holidays, the good, the tough, and why we do it anyway. And hey, stick around because I'm going to share a sneak peek of my upcoming book, Get Booked, A Performer's Guide to Working with Booking Agents in the Gig Economy. If you've ever wondered how gig workers land those coveted gigs, or you're one of us trying to figure it out, this book is going to be your guide. Hi, and welcome to the Creative Solutions Podcast. I'm your host, Izolda. On the show, you'll hear interviews with innovative creative artists, entrepreneurs, business executives, and thought leaders. You'll have a front row seat as they explore their internal motivations that inspire them to grow, achieve, and innovate. Get their insights and realizations as I tease out answers to questions they've never even pondered before. This episode is brought to you by my upcoming book, Get Booked, A Performer's Guide to Working with Booking Agents in the Gig Economy. Are you ready to thrive in gigs, big or small? Start with my Nailing Your Holiday Gigs checklist, your ultimate guide to crushing the holiday season. Grab it in the show notes and mark your calendar. The book drops January 2025. Get ready to go pro, book smarter, and own the gig economy. And now, let's get on with the show. Hello, and welcome to the Creative Solutions Podcast. I'm your host, Izolda. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Picture this. It's Thanksgiving. Most people are around a table with their families, laughing, eating pie, and passing the mashed potatoes. But some of us are out there making the magic happen. Maybe we're delivering the last-minute meal or playing guitar at a festive dinner, or in my case, managing a holiday caroling group like the Philosopher's Tones. And let me tell you, it's not always easy to be the one working while other people are celebrating. Sure, there's the FOMO, the fear of missing out on those special family moments. But here's the flip side. Gigs on holidays often mean premium rates. I'm going to be honest. If someone wants carolers on Christmas Eve or a singing Santa on Black Friday, they're going to pay more for that time. And for many of us, that extra income isn't just nice, it's essential. For artists and performers especially, it's about making choices. The money we earn working holidays helps us live, create, and fund our art. That's the trade-off, you see. And there's something fulfilling about being the person who adds a little sparkle to someone else's celebration. But I want to talk about gratitude for a second. If you're out enjoying a catered meal, singing along at a live performance, or even just grabbing a late-night snack on a holiday, think about the gig workers who are making that happen. We don't just show up. We bring the energy, the creativity, and the passion so you can enjoy your moment. So whether you're in the thick of gig work or just cheering us on from the sidelines, please remember this. Working the holidays isn't just about making money. It's about making the magic that others are going to cherish for years to come. I remember one gig we did on Christmas Eve. A man wanted to propose to his girlfriend, and he wanted to do it to the song Endless Love. You know the one. My love, there's only you in my life, the only thing that's right. So I'm sure you know that song. It was Diana Ross and Lionel Richie, and it was to a soundtrack to a movie. I forget the name of the movie. It might have even been called Endless Love. Regardless, it was their song, and he wanted to propose to that song, but he wanted it to be a surprise. So he booked us, a trio of carolers, to come and act like we were caroling all around their apartment complex. And so we showed up and we sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Jingle Bells. And then his family kind of quietly went back upstairs while he and his girlfriend stayed downstairs to listen to us. And we broke out Endless Love. And as we sang Endless Love, he got down on one knee and he proposed. And she said yes. So we got to be whenever they tell the story of how he proposed, and this was years ago, so they might even have kids they've told this story to by now. But whenever they tell that story, we're part of it. We were hired to do a job, but we were also part of the magic memories they made that night. And that's really wonderful. So, as part of talking about gratitude, I'm grateful for that part of it too, that I get to be part of these moments in people's lives. And yeah, there are some bad things about it, but I wanted to sort of bring that out, that sometimes it can be maddening and a madhouse. Like if you're trying to get to sales at midnight on Black Friday, which I would, unless you're paying people 4 times their normal rate and they get to say no if they don't want to do it, I don't think it should be happening. But for gig working, it is often a really magical thing. And I've done the sort of 4 a.m., midnight to 4 a.m. singing for people waiting in line for the stores to open. And they love it. They love having carolers there. So we get to be part of that memory set as well. And that's kind of cool. So there are bad things and there are good things. And you know me, I like lists. So I want to give you a couple of pros and a couple of cons of doing holiday gig work. So the pros, one, the money. Holidays mean higher rates. You're not just working, you're strategically cashing in because people want you there more on those holiday times. A con, it's FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. There are family gatherings that I've missed. There are traditions, or just downtime is often sacrificed when you take gigs when everybody else is partying. For a long time, my husband and I didn't get to kiss each other on New Year's Eve because he was always working one gig one place, and I was always working one gig another place. And I remember one time, back when we were still living in Maryland, he was driving over a bridge and I was driving over a bridge right at midnight, and there were fireworks. Now, you know me and fireworks, I'm not crazy about them now, but this was a long time ago. Anyway, we were both stuck in traffic on bridges and saw fireworks displays in 2 different states. And we have this tradition that about 5 minutes to midnight, we call each other, unless we're actively on stage performing. And that way, when everyone else calls at midnight, we are actually already on the phone, so we don't get a busy signal. So about 5 minutes to midnight, we call each other and we wish each other a Happy New Year. He, at that point, was in Virginia. I, at that point, was in Delaware. No, I think I was crossing the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, so I was in Maryland. Anyway, it was a delight because it was a lovely moment, even though we were on the phone, 100 miles apart. It was still lovely. So another pro is networking. Working during the holidays can land you gigs for future seasons, for future places. People who see you in action are more likely to recommend or book you or rebook you, right? That's one of the things. If you give them a great impression of you as you work, perform, whatever it is you do, they're more likely to hire you back. But also remember to tell them, hey, I do this kind of gig, I do that kind of gig, I do this kind of gig. And please think of me the next time. I was really happy to be here. And that was fabulous. And then the last con I kind of want to talk about is the grind. I mean, let's face it, sometimes it's just tiring to put on a smile and perform when everyone else is kicking back and relaxing. So there are pros and cons for sure, but I tend to land on the pro side of this. Regardless of that, I just gave you a couple of tips of things you can do as a gig worker, and I want to talk to you about this book that I'm going to be putting out. I'm putting the finishing touches on Get Booked, a performer's guide to working with booking agents in the gig economy. And it's all about helping gig workers like you, or the ones you know and love, navigate the business side of this life, especially when it comes to working with the agents who often make or break our gigs. Get Booked is going to be, I'm going to try to make it your essential guide to navigating the world of talent agents, mastering your craft, and building a really standout career. From defining your unique skills to creating a killer demo, pitching yourself, and managing gigs like a pro, this book is going to deliver really practical advice and insider tips to help you land more bookings and shine at every gig. Whether you're working solo or managing a group like I do with the Philosopher's Tones, you're going to learn how to build strong agent relationships, how to wow clients, and how to set boundaries, all while creating a life that you love. I'm packing the whole thing with actionable steps and real-world insights. Get Booked is going to be your roadmap to success in the ever-changing gig economy, and I am thrilled to pieces that it's going to be coming out sometime in January of 2025. I'm almost holding myself to that. It might be February, right before Valentine's Day, but I'm really hoping for January. And the reason I'm hoping for January is because, as most gig workers will tell you, the holiday season is upon us. We work our patooties off. And then after New Year's Day, we hear a lot of crickets. And as I was talking to my husband about this the other day, that is a perfect time to build your skills, to take yourself to the next level in your work life. You can write songs then. You can write your book then. You can build a new show. You can hone your performance skills. You can network and outreach with agents who've been working like crazy, but now they finally have a little lull. So I usually say not the first week of January, but maybe the second or third week is a good time to get your new demos to your agents, to get them your new skill set, all of that stuff. But you're going to learn all about that more in Get Booked. Alrighty, I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. I had a lot of fun talking about this. It's one of the things that gets me all riled up because the gig economy is, when you're a performer of any kind or an artist of any kind, it often is your life. You're either working a day job and trying to get your art in at all other times, or you're a gig worker, which sometimes gives you more flexibility, but also gives you a little bit more uncertainty. So you end up having to make your certainty, and these best practices are the ones that I'm talking about in the book they're going to give you that information and that more of that stability, I think, to live the life you really want to live. Alrighty. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. This is Izolda Trachtenberg for the Creative Solutions Podcast, reminding you, as always, to live with confidence, curiosity, creativity, and kindness. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. Please subscribe to the show if you're new, and it would mean the world to me if you told a friend about it. Today's episode was produced by Izolda Trachtenberg and is copyright 2024. As always, please remember this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Past performance does not guarantee future results, although we can always hope.